The following program contains mature subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised.
So, we've always heard couples saying third time's a charm. Well, when it comes to sex, apparently round 2 is what really matters if you want to get pregnant. New research shows that having sex 2 times, but let me finish this, within the hour, triples your chance to conceive.
Who did
within
that?
The hour?
A man?
2-3 times? This is a lot of pressure on a man. If it's like, honey, we've got to do it 2-3 times in the hour?
Cry me a river, Travis.
Now, let me ask you, from your perspective, since this is your specialty, this was a study of 73 couples, and it looked at that second ejaculate, and within an hour.
I was part of this study, and it was a lot of fun. To keep up with the rest of the crew, but somehow
oh my God.
So this, I'm just gonna throw this out there. This sounds crazy. I mean, what is it? The second round of sperm, they're like better swimmers? Because I always thought, we were always taught to like save up. You know, men should save up their stores.
So typically, what we normally tell the woman is don't have too much sex because, as you said, we like there to be good, potent concentration of sperm because men are always making sperm. So we always say if you go to a male gynecologist, they'll say, no, the more the better. Have sex all the time. If you go to a woman, they'll say every other day.
So now what?
But
what do we do now? The study seems to say...
it makes sense to me physiologically because you're saving sperm in your seminal vesicles. So that first load maybe sort of had been sitting there for a while, sort of wasn't fresh.
Can we say bolus instead of load?
So then you've replenished, refilled the seminal vesicles, and the second wave is just, they're all like Michael Phelps.
Well, no, here's the thing. Actually, you bring up a good point, and I do think we maybe need to study this more officially and physiologically, but what you're talking about is kind of the parallel between what we say with breast milk and breastfeeding, which is we'll oftentimes tell breastfeeding mothers, make sure that hind milk is the most nutrient-dense portion of the breast milk. That's the part that sits in the back of the breast ducts. So you want your baby, whether you're pumping or nursing, to get that hind milk. Maybe this is the same thing. We'll call it the hind sperm.
But so what do I do right now if...
The more sex, the better.
But is that what it is? Because let's just say someone's watching the show and they're a couple and they're trying to get pregnant. Does this dispel the myth, you know, save it up, guys?
No.
Or is it really, do you think maybe try this? Because the stats were pretty interesting. When men gave their second sperm samples within an hour and the second sample was used, the pregnancy rate went from 6 to 20%. It was a threefold increase.
So guess what? And I'm glad you mentioned those numbers.
So you're not going to use it in your practice.
Do you know what the average, we call it the fecundity rate, which is the rate of conception for a normal, young, healthy, fertile couple each month they try? You know what it is? 20%. So this went from 6% to 20%. That's what the rate is anyway. So my advice to a couple trying to conceive, relax, enjoy yourself. Let me tell you personally, those were the best 2 months of my life. The 2 months that I tried to conceive.
Point is, most important thing if you're trying to get pregnant is to enjoy the process as much as you can. We've all shown that less stress actually leads to higher pregnancy rates as well. Stick around.